everybody. I'm Leandra Jackson.
Hello, and I'm Victoria McCullough.
We are super excited about this January podcast. We are going to be talking about reset, refocus, and renew, just like so many other people are doing, but we might have a little bit of a different take. So we want to have sustainable, healthy habits and without the burnout. We want to make sure that we can create a healthy lifestyle and not just rush into the new year, think that we have to do all or nothing, and then all of a sudden we're just in a burnout state and we give up on what we want to achieve in our goals. And it's a lot that has to go into, especially being that it's January, because it's like we want to hunker down, we want to snuggle up on the couch, we don't want to make a bunch of changes right now. That's more for I would say that's more when the weather's starting to get nice. Yeah. But this is a really good time to create the path. Yeah. Start creating good habits.
And it's a great time to, everybody wants to jump into New Year's resolutions. I always try to stay away from that. I always try to call them more of a reset, refocus, because you should be able to do this anytime. I think I was just talking about it this morning on a live, and I was talking about how you shouldn't wait till, okay, I'm going to start next month. I'm going to start next Monday or next, in the beginning of the year, and start putting these out that it's way in the future. Because if you really want to reach your goals, you have to start today. Right. And you can always do that, even if it's a Friday. And so, maybe you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to have a great weekend and I'm going to start Monday. That's not a big deal. But if you're sitting here waiting weeks to begin a program, you can start now, especially when it comes to your health and fitness. Absolutely. So I always tell people, don't sit and wait, but it just seems to be the norm that people want to start New Year's resolutions. So get rid of the New Year's resolutions. Think about it as reset, refocus, and just kind of sit down and think about what you did last year and what you can do better this year. So what we want to talk about is, a lot of times what ends up happening, one of the statistics I found was that not only do 80% of the resolutions, they're done and gone by February, only 99% of the people that make them 99% of the people that make them stop them. They fail. Yes. So only 1% actually complete their actual resolution or their goals, because a lot of times people will get that all or nothing, and then, they fail, and then they say, forget it, I'll just start next year. So what you have to do, remember, it's not about, you don't want to fail. You want your goals to be realistic. So what you want to do is you want to actually figure out systems. If you were trying to do this based off of your willpower, it's not going to work. And you're going to try to do that every year thinking, okay, I'm willpower. It's not about willpower. It's about what you're doing. Your resolutions, you can't just overhaul your life and your goals overnight, right? So they're going to take small things. So what you want to do is you don't want to sit something that, okay, in January, I'm going to start going to the gym 5 or 6 times a week. I'm going to eliminate sugar. I'm going to, do 2 days of workouts. We were just talking about the 75 hard. We're going to get completely clean. We're going to do all these things. Those are really tough. I only know one person that's ever completed that, and they were single. And they weren't parents. They didn't have, a lot going on. It was just them, so they could focus on the 2-a-day workout. So you really don't want to do something that's so, it really requires so much discipline, which over time, you will create discipline if you start small habits. Right. So when your resolutions are so strict, they sound great. And here you want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. But what are you going to do that's small and simple? What are the systems you're going to put into place? So it's not a discipline problem. It's a system problem. Now, it's a system problem. Real change doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from building small habits that actually fit into your life. Because we know as parents, as moms, as dads, we get tired. Leandra had, an emergency come up yesterday. She had to go take care of her son. He got sick. We have kids. We have, all kinds of things. We could have the perfect schedule for the week. And if you're a mom or a dad, if you have kids, things are always going to happen.
You can rely on something. You can rely on change.
Yeah. And so it's always, you have to be able to pivot. So you want to make sure that when you have goals and you're resetting, you want to do things better, they're achievable. And remember that you don't want to sit around going, well, I'm waiting to be motivated, or, I'm really not motivated. Well, motivation comes after action. You have to actually take the action, start doing it even when you don't feel like it. If you do, no one has ever regretted going to the gym or working out. They always regret going, yeah, I don't really feel like it, not going, and then they regret it. That's what you regret, is not doing the thing that you should have done. But nobody ever regrets actually taking that action. And then when you start feeling better and you start seeing results, then that's what motivates you. So if you've fallen off your goals already, I mean, we're just into the first week of January. Hopefully you haven't fallen off your goals. Hopefully this will help you. Some of the tips that we're going to give you or can help you to just reset and not restart. So don't do that. Don't feel like you failed and you have to restart over. Just take, what's your next meal? What's the next day? What can you do? So we have a plan for you, and we're going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing this month to help you. We're going to give you some tips now, but we're also going to tell you a little bit about our special, that what we're going to start doing over this year and the months. So stay tuned so you can hear all about it. So we want to remember that it is really time to stop the all or nothing. It's time to stop unrealistic expectations. It's time for systems and better support. So first approach is to focus and reframe on systems and outcomes, habit stacking, creating minimum standard, and we have some samples for busy moms and dads, and we're going to talk a little bit how progress actually looks like. So Leandra's going to start off with a movement habit. Movement habits.
So if you think that you need an hour workout, this will change everything. So common fitness mistakes, overtraining, random workouts, and starting too aggressively. So if you're, just like how Victoria was saying, you don't need to work out twice a day. You don't need to find that result that you want within 2 weeks.
Jump into CrossFit.
You don't have to, yes.
You've never done it.
Don't work out. Don't just go and do CrossFit all week long, because you are going to regret
You're gonna hurt and not want to go back.
And not want to go back. And then the random workouts, like, oh, I'll just wake up tomorrow and see how I feel in order to work out. Or just have time to hurry up and go work out.
Or just at the gym, just not going without a plan. That's another thing. Going without a plan and just walking into the gym and just going. You waste more time thinking about what you're going to do.
Well, and that's the nice thing about gyms too, is a lot of times they'll have like boards up, and it'll tell you like, okay, weekly workouts that you can follow, or there'll be something that you can follow.
Like a circuit, like they'll have like some sort of a circuit.
Yeah, some kind of circuit training. And, it's always nice if you're going to go to the gym, you don't really know what you're going to do. Start off with, maybe 10, 15 minutes of cardio. And then do a little bit of weightlifting. You can do some just upper body the one day and then lower body the next day. You can do abs every day. So that's a good way to kind of pace yourself. Just start off slow. Work your way into making better and more increased habits.
20 to 30 minutes, even starting out. You don't have to stay for an hour.
And you don't have to exhaust
sweat.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like you're sweating and you're in pain.
You don't have to go to like muscle fatigue, muscle failure.
Wait till later.
And it's hard to not do that sometimes if you're a competitive type of person. I found myself doing that, where I'll work on something and I just go too far, and then that's like, oh, I'm hurting and now I have to take 2 days off. Whereas if you don't, you can consistently do those things. So
it's about goals too. I think it's about, what is your goal? What are you training for? If you're training for something that requires that, but if you're training just for general over health,
and you can work towards that. So if you want to eventually get to 4 days of working out a week, start with 1 or 2. Start with a few walks during the week. Walking daily is a great way, and short, consistent sessions like we were saying. Barriers can be huge when it comes to a mindset, and you don't want to feel guilty. Like mom guilt, that's such a big thing. Oh, taking away from my kids because I'm taking care of myself. No, you have to take care of yourself to effectively take care of those that you love. And then perfectionism is not getting things done. And I have found complete stalemate when it comes to perfectionism. Done is done. Right? Just think done is done. Okay, I did it. I feel good. I will get to where I want to be eventually. And
it'll get better.
Yes. If you didn't feel well one day and you didn't do the things that you wanted to do, just start again the next day or as soon as you're feeling well. If you didn't get enough rest and you wanted to sleep in and you missed that workout, get back on track the next day. You don't have to listen to that voice in your head that said, well, too bad. I guess we're off the track. We're not going to do it again. I quit.
Yeah, and it also goes with resting. Like you said, if you are not feeling it or you didn't get a good night's sleep, don't feel pressure to have to get up and go work out. You know, I had people like, they would be like, oh, I didn't get to bed till 12, 1 o'clock. Please don't show up at 5 a.m. Don't. Allow your body needs to rest. That's where people get injured because you're tired and you're not really focused. So you really want to make sure that you're working out well rested and you allow your body to recover. So don't feel like, you know, if for some reason you feel, if you start getting tired, you're overtraining. I always say, you know, if you just start finding yourself, because exercising should give you some energy, but if you start finding out you've been pushing it really hard and getting tired. When I was training for Tri-Fit, that happened to us. We were doing 6 days workouts, and they were pretty intense for our competition. And we got to the point partway through that we were taking Thursday off. I was like, I can't. You know, I just didn't feel like I was getting anything out of it without resting my body. I felt stronger when I allowed my body to rest and recover. And I've done that where I've taken a week off and been stronger the next week because I overtrained. So I've been there, I've done that, and I learned.
Yeah, so start slow. It's very important to be able to start implementing the healthy habits that can be sustainable and last you a lifetime, because that's what we want. We don't want a yo-yo diet. We don't want to go back and forth to these different things that we're doing.
Yeah,
we want to build a momentum, and we want our nervous system to feel safe, because if it doesn't feel safe in the things that we're doing, it's going to tell you, no, don't do it. Even if it's something that you know that needs to happen, go slow.
Yeah.
So the call to action would be to commit 10 to 20 minutes a day to walk or do 2 to 3 strength workouts per week. And how, you know, this isn't about sweating and burning calories like we were saying, or burning calories. It's about moving your body consistently. So having that consistency, it's important. And then you can move more into the aggressive workouts or something that you feel like you are going to get sweaty to, because that is an important part of detoxing, but you don't have to start there.
Yeah, you don't have to feel like you didn't get a good workout just because you didn't sweat.
Right.
And the calories are going to happen, so don't get caught up on the number of calories. We all have our little trackers. I just got me an Oura ring for Christmas, you know. And the thing about this one is I'm not like constantly looking at, because I have to actually, you know, I have to get on my app to see what I'm doing. Where when I had my watch, I could constantly look at it. And I think a lot of people do that. They constantly look at, okay, how many steps did I get? Or how many? And you're constantly like checking yourself on that. And you're not that it's a bad thing, but you can actually kind of get yourself over, you know,
it can be kind of dramatic.
It could be too much where you're thinking, oh God, I'm not burning enough calories. Yeah, believe me, these trackers are totally underestimating the amount that you're burning your body. You know.
Yeah, and it's, you know, you're giving yourself a negative feedback if you're thinking those things. You want positivity. And really, it's like when I had the watch, like, oh, I didn't get 10,000 steps. Yeah. What is wrong with me?
Right?
You feel like you had a really good day of walking and everything. And then if you like to talk on the phone, go for a walk while you're on the phone, or listening to podcasts, listening to your books and stuff. Short strength workouts that you can do at home. So the first time that I had ever really learned that was when I was in massage school. And there was this massage therapist in class with me. She was a student as well. And she was so fit and trim. And I mean, I was in the military, so I had pretty good, you know, fitness level. But I was like, how do you do it? She had like 4 or 5 kids. She's like, well, I do like 15 minutes, maybe 3 times a day. And it's like little hit things.
Yep.
And she just did it at home on video. And I was like, I never heard of that, because in the Army, you're like, oh, work out for an hour, 2 hours, and you're doing it twice a day.
They get that head thing, like you're not strong enough and you can't do this. And don't let people tell you that.
Yeah, so you 15 minutes at a time, a couple times.
In the morning, I always tell people, you know, get up in the morning and go stretch in your bathroom. You can get up and you can do some stretching. You can do some push-ups. Do 20 push-ups on the counter, on the floor if you have some room. Just do that, and then maybe 20 squats, you're done. And then do it later. So it's doing, like, let's say you'll get 30 minutes if you do 10 minutes throughout the day. It's really, you can fit it in, and like you said, it makes a difference.
Because
you
your body will continue to burn calories even after you're done working out.
And you'll feel better, especially if you do that in the morning. It kind of gets your blood flowing and the energy, you know, the oxygen, and it actually will wake you up faster than just jumping in and having your cup of coffee.
Nice big glass of water before you drink any caffeine and some protein.
Lemon water.
So, you know, when this is going to work because it's a low barrier, it reduces stress, it's not going to overreact your system and tell you don't do it. It's not a huge rigid program that's hard to stick to. And then if you do have a rigid program and you're on like a yo-yo diet, what's going to happen afterwards? You're going to be done with your program. You're going to be done with your so-called diet.
Stop and start.
And then you're going to go back to how it was before because you didn't create sustainable lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
So improve on consistency, build the momentum instead of burning out, like we were saying.
It's progress over perfection.
So exactly. Perfect. And then something that you can do on your worst day is just stay hydrated. Make sure you're getting some protein. Eat one really good healthy meal that day. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do even on your worst day. So be flexible, have grace with yourself, and know that, you know, and grab a support system. That is so important. Have a cheerleader. Have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, go for a walk with, meet at the gym, text and say, hey, I did this or I didn't do this today. What did you do? Accountability buddies are great.
Yeah, if you have a friend, coaches, you know, we're both, you know, health coaches, nutrition coaches. We're here to help you. I do the same. You know, sometimes it's just people will just want me to text them. Hey, what do you know? How much water did you drink? Did you get your, you know, asking questions, just kind of letting them know that you're going to be on the mat. And when you start doing that with somebody, even if a friend or somebody, and then it automatically puts them in the back of your head every so often. You'll hear their little voice going like, oh, they got enough water today, and you'll drink it. So you've got to keep that going. You got to have somebody that you can, instead of going like, well, nobody knows, so I'm not going, you know, and yeah. And so good points there, right? All right. So the next thing we want to do is that kind of goes on this is to have a nutrition anchor. We don't want you to feel like you have to diet. Dieting is, I always tell people, dieting is really what you're eating every day, right? What's our diet? What's your diet like? When you ask that, it's not a start and stop, like she was saying.
It doesn't have to be a 4-letter word.
It doesn't have, it doesn't have to be like that. It's what you're consuming every day. So what you want to do is you want to focus on the things that really matter. Your protein, have protein at every meal. So your anchors, like I'm saying, page. Your anchors, your main one should be your protein, right? Water, of course. Protein at every meal. You're going to notice a difference. You're going to notice that you have more energy. You're going to be able to build lean muscle with that because now you're fueling those muscles so they can grow. When you are cutting your calories too low, you're not giving your body or your muscles the ingredients they need to build up. You can't build muscle with nothing, without any ingredients, right? It's just like you can't paint a picture with no paint, okay? So it's kind of like you need, there has to be something in order to help it grow. And if you're just sitting there and you're depleting all your calories and you're not eating enough, that muscle is not going to grow because it's not being fueled. So you want to make sure that you're getting in that protein, typically 100 grams of protein a day. But if you're not there and you're not calculating, that's okay. If you don't want to count, you can easily just make sure that you have a nice sized portion of protein at each meal. Making sure you don't want to cut out food in your meals, okay? So don't feel like you have to cut things out. If you're adding in more protein and you're adding in veggies and you're adding in some good carbs, you're more than likely going to eliminate a lot of the other stuff, okay? And but you always want to make sure that you have protein. Simple protein ideas are eggs, Greek yogurt at breakfast. You can have Greek yogurt with some, you know, a lot of times I say just add frozen fruit the night before. Put it in I have the Pampered Chef, serve, you know, like the prep bowls that have a little lid on them. Those are perfect size. You put some Greek yogurt in there. You put the frozen fruit, anything that you want to, if it's granola or whatever. Put a lid on it. By the next day, everything, all the juices, it makes it sweeter. It's better to use plain than those sweetened ones because now you're going to be adding in more, more sweetener and more sugar. Add in natural sugars from the actual fruit instead of the ones that are already. Those are great if they're go-tos. If you have to have some, because I do that. I'll have the Greek yogurt ones that you add in the They have the nuts and
okay, like granola and stuff on
the
top.
Chobani's. Yeah, I love those. Those are great. You need to have something that's quick to grab, or you can do them yourself. So yogurt in the morning, eggs in the morning. I have been starting because Jeff used to always want me to make him burritos. So then I would make burritos, and I feel like burritos take forever, right? So I'm trying to make all these. So for Christmas, I had made a breakfast casserole, and it literally was whatever we had left over. And so now every time I go to make it, like on Sunday, I'm making a casserole. And the other day it was green beans. I had made mini potatoes, herb potatoes, and there was green beans and onions in it. So I chopped those all up and I put everything, so whatever was left over from dinner, vegetables, and like I said, and everything went into the casserole, and eggs, and you can even put cottage cheese in there. And then I think I had some sausage. I just grilled some sausage and some onions, and I put all that in there, made a big casserole, cut it up, put it in bowls. Now I'm done for the week. Much easier than a burritos. So think of things like that where you can pre-make them, you can prep them. Chicken, you can have chicken, cut up chicken. You can put it in so many different things. I made pasta yesterday with leftover chicken, tuna, and cottage cheese at lunch. Protein shake, always have, protein shakes as backups. You can always add to the protein shake, put some chia, put some nuts, fruit, whatever you want into it. And the reason these all work is by adding in that protein and making sure that it's going to stabilize your blood sugar. It's going to improve your energy. Like I said, you're going to feel better. You're not going to have these highs and lows throughout the day. If you have too many carbs, those carbs burn fast. So you're going to be hungry again quick. So you want to make sure if you have a carb, you're having a protein. It's going to help level out that blood sugar. It's going to reduce the craving, especially later in the day. It's going to support your metabolism and your hormones. So you want to make sure you have some healthy fats. So if you're having, some avocado with your protein and your carbs and your meals. So remember, we want to add before we take away. So instead of sitting there thinking, I'm not going to have any more carbs, how about having some good carbs, adding in good carbs instead of bad carbs, adding in something good, more protein instead of, just some random meal, French fries. So
like
make sure,
diet.
So try to make sure that you're adding in good foods, adding in good drink. More water is going to help you eliminate anything that you drink more. The seltzer water, there's some really good ones I found the other day. Bloom is a really good one. That one has like probiotics and all kinds of good stuff. So if you're looking for like a soda, like something, because you like something with carbonation in it, Bloom is good. I found this thing called Chai. It's like a Chinese, I don't know, it's a seltzer water, but it actually has flavor. Because some seltzer waters have very little flavor. Or you can do your own. It's all up to you. Just find something to drink to help you instead of drinking sodas.
Yeah, and you can also drink a nice big cup of water before you eat if you feel like portion size is an issue for you. So then that way it's not always recommended you're drinking water during your meal because that can actually cause fermentation in the gut.
Yeah, and it dilutes the digestive enzymes so that
and that too. Yeah, so if you drink a nice big glass of water a little bit before you eat, and then you eat your entire meal, and then just make sure you're staying hydrated after.
If you're eating something that dries, you can sip on water, but not like big gulps or a lot of times people do that because it will slow the digestive process down.
Yeah, and then with that comes mindset. So we want to make sure we're having a good mindset. We're not going to be able to do these things if we're talking bad to ourselves. If we're saying that, we can't do this, or I can't do this, or I need to eat this whole cake because I'm never going to get it again.
It will be there. I was that person.
It's going to be there. Exactly. And so every day identify one thing that you did well for your health. So example, drink more water today than I did yesterday. Great. You took a walk. Fabulous. You added a little bit more protein at one of your meals. Perfect. You went to bed earlier so you could wake up earlier and do an exercise. So those things are all great ways to just think, okay, what is one thing that I did better today? That's positive, that I can be grateful for, and that gratitude will grow. And this shifts your focus from failures to progress. It builds confidence, and it reinforces identity change if you're looking for that. Maybe you just want to change a couple of things about your habits, and so that is where you want to go.
It's so easy to beat ourselves up, and it's so easy to talk negative about everything that went wrong in a day. When I would work with clients, it's always the first thing is, so what went well today? It's not like, how was your day? Because that'll roll out all that, God, this happened and that happened, and then you could roll.
Or
and
we
then
lie
all
to
you're
ourselves
doing,
about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But really,
so you really have to, yeah. Everybody just uses it was fine, but
Yeah.
it's not fine,
Oh,
right?
agree.
It's okay not to be okay.
it is okay to be not to be okay, for sure.
So-
And but looking for that,
But there's always
you
a
know,
positive.
we can believe
Yeah.
in ourselves and things. We can start to change our mindset, have our affirmations available, be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I love you. You know, I love the person you are. I accept who you are. And then that negative voice in your head that's, maybe from when you were a kid can start to quiet down and say, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, you love me? Great. Let's move on. Let's keep going.
It's always great to come up with affirmations. I mean, we have our phones. They're everywhere. I have it's called Motivation. And it comes with everything, like stuff, like affirmations for everything. And so often I'll find things and I'll pop them online and stuff, or I'll send them to somebody if I'm thinking it. But it's really good to even if you just come up with, especially now with the year, a lot of people like to come up with a word or phrase for the year.
Oh, yeah, sure, for the year.
There was something it was ChatGPT, I think, and you ask it, there's like some questions, and you ask it based off of what ChatGPT knows of you, what would be something positive about yourself. It was crazy. It was really cool to read. I haven't read the whole thing, but it will actually take everything that you've put into it and pull out and it makes you feel good about yourself. It really does. It's like asking somebody, tell me what you think of me.
Yeah.
Like if you've never done that, what is positive. It's really kind of cool. So take ChatGPT out and ask it to give you, break down who you are and what's a good word and stuff. It's kind of cool.
And those wins will create momentum. And that momentum will carry you to the next day, and then the next day, and then the next month, maybe into the next year, hopefully. And those lifestyle changes can be sustainable.
Lasts forever.
And, there's lots of really great ways that you can support your system with essential oils as well. So as you know, I love doTERRA essential oils. And yes, no, they're not magic. I mean, I think some of them are, but they're very powerful tools. And you can help support the nervous system. You can help support emotional balance, habit supporting. So some oils that I really like to use for all of these. So you got peppermint, help with your energy level, help with any, maybe tummy troubles or headaches, helps to invigorate you for your workouts. Wild orange is being a citrus oil, helps the limbic system of the brain, which is our joy center. So it helps us to just feel happy, more joyful, and for motivation. Lemon is great for focus and detoxification. Frankincense is great for the mind-body concentration and connection. And then also I really love the MetaPower oil because that is really great for the metabolism and it helps during workouts. I like to do liver cleanse castor oil packs. That's something
I just
that's kind
recently
of
got some
now.
of those.
And they're really great. So I use the MetaPower castor oil pack while I'm working out, like if I'm feeling a little fluffy.
Because I just bought a pack of the castor oil. You can get it on Amazon, and it comes with all the pads and the oil and the oil
doTERRA
and stuff
has
like
a
that.
really amazing castor oil now. It's hexane free. It's very sustainably sourced. It's a really great
Could
oil.
I add some of the oils to the oil
so you
that I
add
got?
the castor oil to the pack, and then you add the essential oil to the castor oil because the castor oil helps bring into the system.
Okay.
So the castor oil packs that you want organic cotton because if it's plastic, the castor oil does bring things into the body. So you want to make sure you're using the organic cotton for that. And then also we have some really great oils and supplements to help with pain management. So if pain is an issue that is not that you feel is like prohibiting you from moving, doing the things that you want to do, then we have actually helped me get off of over-the-counter medications. I've dealt with chronic pain most of my life. And I also love the supplements in order to just help with energy level, metabolism, staying healthy, filling in those nutritional gaps when you can't eat healthy all the time. I mean, I have kids that are pretty picky. They'll eat pizza all day long if they had the opportunity. So when we're not eating those healthy meals, it's important to fill in the gaps. And when you're filling in the gaps, that also helps with your mental health and your body just feeling better, digestion.
Your body will work the way it's meant to work.
Exactly.
And that's the big thing that I think a lot of people, need to realize is that we have this amazing body and it will function the way it's supposed to, but we end up, filling it with a lot of junk, a lot of toxins. And over the years, we end up, doing things to our body that are inhibiting it from doing the working and functioning like it should be able to heal itself. It should be able to, cleanse itself. But we've added in all these toxins from the air. I mean, not everything is, just from what we eat, but what we breathe, what we're breathing in, toxins in the air, foods
drugs
that we're that you're putting on your body, stuff you're putting on your body, nail polish, and other things like that. So there's a lot of other toxins that we're not saying you have to eliminate, I'm probably not going to stop wearing, but I think they're starting to come out with some better nail stuff. I don't know. But anyways, but the more we can actually put in and take care of that, the better off we are.
Absolutely.
You do everything that you can to help your body, and then your body will take over from there. And speaking on the oils, she was talking about you gave me that one pain thing for arthritis.
No, Copaiba.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. She just gave me a little sample thing. I'm getting arthritis in my thumbs. So I keep going is that really working? Because I'm like, every morning I put it on and I'm like, I didn't complain. I haven't complained. So I just take it. And the nice thing about it is if you go and get the over-the-counter stuff, it's horrible. The bad part is I got this stuff from my mother for her arthritis. It's the capsaicin. If you know what that is, that's peppermint oil. And it's horrible because once you put it on, you better wash.
Cayenne.
It's hot, so it warms it up, right? Well, what do you have to do? Okay, it's on my thumb. So if I put it on, I have to wash my hands. Well, now that just takes it off. So the nice thing about her stuff is I can rub it on. I don't have to go wash my hands. It's not going to burn It's not going to burn my face.
If you're using the deep blue, then you don't want to rub it.
Yeah, you don't always want to do that.
It's still not going to rub. You can rub it on your face, and it's going to.
It's not going to be as painful as some of the other ones that are for arthritis. So I've been putting it on here every day, and I've noticed less. I think it's helped probably with the inflammation and stuff because. Yeah, it's awful.
Copaiba is wonderful for the joints and just for stress in general. We are doing a 90-day reset starting this month as well. So if you are wanting to get more information on how you can do a 90-day reset that fits into your lifestyle, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It fits into your lifestyle very well with a really great supportive system. Reach out to me. I'd love to give you some more information on that. And we have our YouTube channels that you can find support from.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we also have, for those of you that are here locally, we are up in Falcon right now. So that's where Leandra lives. But we are going to be doing our vision board. It's called See It, Dream It, Make It Happen, a vision board experience workshop. So we are going to be doing this up here at the High Prairie Library, which is in Falcon. On January 17th from 12:30 to 3:15, it's $25, and that's going to provide you with everything you need. We're going to have all the supplies. We're going to have some snacks. Just bring some water if you want to, but we'll probably have some water available in case. We might have some little sample packs of different things that we both have as far as for hydration. A little, and we're going to try to we probably have a little goodie bag for you and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do. Some chair yoga because we're going to be using the tables. Mm-hmm. We're going to be stretching, kind of getting our mindset. So it's not going to just be coming to do crafts. Yeah. It's going to be a whole experience. Dress comfortably because we are, you want to be able to sit there and get up, and we're going to do some movement, mindset. We're going to really try to help draw out what it is your vision is. Yeah, your creativity. Yeah. What is your vision for your life as well as for this year? And then once you do that, you're going to be able to create this beautiful vision board. You should have pulled yours off. But if you've never done a vision board, that you're just going to put things. And it's amazing how when you are visualizing those things, they will start manifesting in your life. Because those are things that your mind is going to start having you start working towards that. And it's crazy how it works, but it absolutely does. It's not the magic. Manifestation is actually a true thing. And it works when you, with the affirmations, same thing with affirmations. The more we speak truth into ourselves, the more we speak, positive, we will start believing it and our lives will change. Absolutely. And I know it's difficult for people to do that and it feels weird and awkward. But over time, it does change.
With that, contact us. We would love to help you.
We'd be happy to help you. And then starting next month.
Yes, we are going to start getting some guest speakers.
Yeah, so you don't have to listen to just us. Hopefully you enjoy listening to us.
See who our guest speaker is going to be. It'll be February, so kind of a time of love and self-love, definitely. So we're
find somebody fun.
We're going to have a great guest speaker. So look forward to that.
Yeah, and that is it. So thank you so much for joining us for our January Healthy Happy Hour. Yeah. Victoria McCullough with Her Strength Coaching and
Leandra with Leandra's Integrative Wellness. So thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Take care.